Hello, second grade readers. Today we are going to talk again about characters, but we're going to talk about something different today. We are going to look at how characters change during a book. Now, sometimes when you're reading, you find characters that act the same way pretty much throughout the whole book. Think about Frog and Toad. In every chapter of Frog and Toad, Toad was lazy, he was giving up, right? Every time he came across a problem, he just wanted to give up. And we didn't see a lot of change happen in Toad. We also didn't see a lot of change happen in Frog. He was always the one encouraging Toad and helping him and teaching him how to solve problems. So those characters stayed pretty much the same throughout the book. But sometimes you'll find characters that change during a story. And there's usually something that happens that makes them change. So our learning target today is I can identify how a character changes in a story using text evidence. Remember that text evidence comes right from the book, and we're looking at something they said, something they did, or how they acted, and that will help us figure out how the characters change. Today, you got Houndsley and Katina, Plink and Plunk in your learning packet. Make sure you have read this whole story before you do this lesson, because you're not going to see how the characters change unless you read all 3 chapters. So make sure you've read all the chapters before you start. Now, I know that second graders stop and jot while they're reading. They think hard about what characters are doing and saying, so that's what I did. As I read those 3 chapters, I did a stop and jot, and I wrote down some of my ideas, and I want to share them with you. I focused on Houndsley as I was reading, and I noticed some things that he said and did, and it got me thinking about character traits. Remember that character traits are ways that we can describe a character on the inside, like their personality. You might decide to stop and jot about Katina and some of her character traits. Well, here's what I found. In chapter 1 with Houndsley, he was upset with Katina. He didn't really want to go on that boat ride with her because she talked and talked and talked, and he just wanted some peace and quiet. But he didn't say anything. He didn't tell her how he was feeling. So that makes me think that he's kind of quiet. And then in chapter 2, we saw something similar happen. He was nervous to ride a bike when his friends wanted to do it. But again, he didn't say anything. He didn't tell them that he didn't know how to ride a bike. So again, it makes me think that he's kind of quiet, maybe kind of shy. That might be why he's acting that way. But then in chapter 3, I start to see a change. I'm noticing that he tried it. He rode the tricycle, rode a bike that he didn't really want to ride, which makes me think he's become more brave. And then he got to talking with Katina, and he learned that his friend was afraid of the water, just like he was afraid of the bike. And it got him thinking that, oh, we're kind of the same that way. And he spoke up, and he said, I want to teach you. I want to be your friend, and I want to do fun things with you. And so he was more talkative, and he was more brave to talk about his feelings. So I noticed a change in Houndsley. Your character change sheet looks like this week. You're going to pick either Houndsley or Katina and write their name here. And then you're going to pick a character trait to describe that character at the beginning of the story. How would you describe them? And give me some text evidence. What did that character do or say, or how did they act that helped you to learn that they had that character trait? And then you've got this side. They have probably changed in this story. So what character trait can you use now to describe them, and how did you figure that out? Now this spot in the middle, this is an arrow, but don't leave it blank. This says, why do you think this character changed throughout the story? What was the event that happened to make them change? What happened in this story? People don't change just because they just decide to. There's usually something that happens. That's where this goes. So as you are reading Houndsley and Katina today, pay attention to how the characters change. Stop and jot some ideas. And then fill out your character change sheet. Good luck.